In Studio, you can log execution messages on the Run console or to an output file. All components in Studio support the logging utility log4j. This utility allows you to choose your desired log level at runtime. tLogRow displays the runtime logging output on the Run console, allowing you to debug a running job. You can use a tLogCatcher component to collect any logs generated by the other components. Error handling is an important part of any job design. Good error handling and logging ensures that your job execution terminates properly and logs the cause of the error for debugging purposes. In Talend Studio, you can achieve this by using die on error options, trigger connections, and tWarn and tDie components. Enabling the die on error checkbox in a component stops the job execution as soon as an error occurs. This prevents subsequent components from performing any actions on invalid data. Trigger connections carry execution orders between components and, unlike rows, do not carry any data. These connections are triggered by the conditions you specify, such as an error occurring within a component or subjob. Trigger connections allow you to redirect the execution of the job to another path or a dedicated error handler. You can use the tWarn component to append a custom message to the logs. The tDie component can also append a message, and it can terminate the execution of the process. In this demo, we'll use the Studio console to display runtime messages. The console appears on the job's Run tab. Notice that this job executed without any errors. Now, let's introduce an error by referencing an invalid file in the tFileInputDelimited component. Then we'll run the job to display any relevant error messages. Notice that although errors appear on the Run console, the entire job executed to completion. This is likely to produce undesirable results. Now we'll select the Die on Error checkbox on the component job to terminate the execution of the job at the point of error. Again, rerunning the job generates error messages in the console, but this time the job terminates simultaneously. Now, let's use a combination of a trigger connection and a tDie component to generate a custom error message based on the condition that an error has occurred within the component. Here, we'll configure the trigger connection to execute on a component error and terminate it at the tDie component. Next, we'll configure the tDie component with a custom message. Rerunning the job triggers the execution path of the onComponent error condition and displays the tDie message in the console logs. The log4j level can be found in the Advanced Settings on the Run tab. You can use this feature to change the level of logs displayed on the console. For example, we'll add a tWarn component to the job design and configure a custom message. Optionally, we can add a variable such as an error message generated by the component. On the Run tab, let's change the display log level to error, then we'll rerun the job to view the corresponding log message.